what's this got?
I don't know. Is
This
there
is
anything new?
civilization. There's not allowed to have civilization, but here's a city park.
Isn't a city park civilization?
Exactly. And that's why we're not allowed to have it. Oh my god, look! What's this? Oh, listen, hold on. Hold on, listen, hold on, I got it. Where's it at? Uh, there you go. Are you happy?
This cannot be heard, therefore happiness is not achieved.
And even there in like system stuff, not very loud.
I think it's Discord's fault. It just recently updated, and everything is kind of shit right after an update.
Oh wait, hold on. Where's my soundboard? My soundboard. What about like now?
Ah, God!
Better.
Now I can hear it.
You know
That
what
was
was
in my
stopping?
brain. What?
That brings back some memories.
Noise suppression. There
Ah,
we go.
well.
Let's give Naibai terror.
Oh, well, is that a thing we actually hear?
No, but we could.
Okay.
What you don't worry. You hear this though, if it comes through.
Yes. That now that we
Yeah,
can
noise
actually
suppression's
hear
not it.
things.
Alright, we're starting it. This is what you hear.
Yeah.
It's morning time. Wake up.
Do let me know if we ever start hearing, like, active battle
will.
stuff, because Naibai will actually get PTSD.
Naibai's calm now, but she doesn't talk about the horrible things she's seen, what happens when you fuse science and magic together, and what people will do to each other with that kind of advantage.
Yeah, we don't really talk about what happens at war. Especially without something called the Geneva Convention.
That's
Well,
called the to-do
country-
list.
She served with Ilvamar. They don't do it. Nemanthia has a very open policy about don't be a bitch. It's Perlaxia you really want to work for.
Yeah.
They're the ones who actually have a council and everything associated with survivors of war. Plus, you know, these two nerds right here, Fiona and Beatrice, got their birth documents. Alright, there's your ambience. You can wake up to the sound of ambience.
Ah, hear ye.
I think it's like 2 minutes of a clip, so I'll restart it. Who gets woke up first?
I think Fiona would already be up because he was supposed to be up early for his singing lessons.
You got a response.
What?
Bird is all I hear from this dumbass.
Yeah, and then in the sound clip there was a chirp. And so they got a response.
Apparently Kevin speaks bird. Enough to get a response.
Ah, yes. Ah, the bird went quiet. Just as Ma was opening the window with a shoe.
That bird has done this before.
Damn it, where's my wind sound effects? Ah! I forgot my wind. But at least I got my other ones. This one's gonna hurt your ears.
Clank, 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 clank. Very nice.
I just wanted to play that one. It's metal. I found clangy. I found like all kinds of
Who's
sound
shooting?
effects. Nobody's shooting. Well, that's not entirely true.
I like how you start saying no, and then, well.
Well, maybe.
So I'm not a furry, but
Exactly.
It all starts
That's
with
like-
Catgirls.
Oh, right. Let's see if you guys can hear this one. This one will come into play later.
Sounds like
Yeah.
something underwater.
Sounds like
Who got
It's not
rolling
water.
Sounds like lava.
Yeah.
Who got that?
This is all Faraji heard in his dream.
Hmm.
That's all he heard in his dream?
Well, Faraji had a really fucking interesting dream that he's up early just sitting at the table in concern. Well before everyone else, just a cup of coffee with a fucking straw in his mouth, like a little paper straw, just...
Wow, a paper straw. How environmentally conscientious.
I was actually like,
conscientious.
Yes.
I was slightly offended that there was a paper straw. I was like, wait, polymers might not be a thing yet.
What might not be a thing yet?
Polymers. I was like, wait, polymers might not be a thing just yet.
They are,
Polymers
though.
are a thing, but the issue is they're really fucking hard for people to manufacture that don't have Magitech facilities or equipment.
I mean, if you really care about
Not
the
everybody
environment...
can be Nile Red making gasoline out of soda in their bathroom.
If you really want to care about the environment, just use a metal straw.
Out of a plastic bottle.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Or sugar
Still
out
not
of
sure.
piss.
That was ammonia. I know that he
No,
used
he made a
aspirin to make
sweetener.
wintergreen.
Who was the guy that made lead sugar?
That was Nile Red.
Okay.
That was also Nile Red.
I know they
He also
sounded
channeled
familiar
Nile.
for some reason.
He's also the one obsessed with making transparent wood.
That's it. Yeah, he just came out with a new video on that.
Yes, it's like a second video on it. He just wants transparent. It's just Nile Red. All of my kingdom for glass wood.
Every time he goes to stick that resin on between two sheets of glass without a release agent, I cringe. Just, no. Use a release agent.
Whatever, make it not clear and see-throughable. Never get it off like glass.
What even is
There
the
are
point of
release agents that
see-through?
will do it, though. Fuck you, that's what.
Yeah, fuck you, nature. You're not transparent enough.
It's like, we're gonna run out of sand. Have you seen Arabia?
Have you seen literally any country that's not over in the northern?
I'm sorry, Africa is trying to currently prevent desertification. What do you mean we're running out of sand?
And I know there's
Go
like,
down there
"It's
and
not
steal
the
it."
same." Yeah, but you can make soda glass out of regular sand. You're good. Oh, shut up in there.
We just need to go
Sorry, I
steal
don't know
all
if
of
you heard
Africa's sand.
Also, let's not forget that, like, the floor of the ocean is mostly sand.
And gold.
Let's steal the sand from the ocean!
The fish don't need it.
What do they do? Walk? Please!
Some of
I
them,
mean-
actually.
Some of them do have legs. There's crabs. There's technically a what is it called? A soliofoid out there, or whatever. It's the same thing that a Portuguese man-o-war is. That's 150 feet in diameter. That's bigger than a blue whale.
Wow.
In diameter? Holy shit.
Yes, in diameter.
Isn't diameter across the center?
No, length
Yes.
is height.
No. Diameter, as you just said, is through the center of a circle or an object to be measured. That is the
Yeah.
diameter.
That's measuring
so I was
across a girth.
Yeah,
Exactly.
So yeah, they measure. It was off the coast of Australia. They measured it from middle to middle. It's 152 feet across.
Jesus.
So,
Yeah.
from what could be considered tip to tail, how long is it?
Like 80 feet?
Oh, so this thing's fat as fuck.
Yeah,
but
that's
technically
why
it's
I
not
was
one.
laughing.
It's like
It is
no,
saucer.
because it's like a solifoid or whatever.
Yeah, they're a colonial thing. They're basically tons
colonial
and tons
species.
and tons of specialized organisms all together to make one sort of like super organism.
Isn't that just a multicellular creature?
No, it's they're all single. They're like all normal single cellular creatures, like everything on Earth. I think. Well, I don't know if we have any known multicellular creatures,
Oh, so it's
but
just a huge symbiotic relationship.
basically they're just they
Yes.
are just symbiotic with each other, and they form sort of like a hive mind scenario.
Yeah,
That's-
that's basically what a Portuguese man of war is. It's like some are specialized to be the floating sail part, some are specialized to be the tentacles.
Okay, that's cool. So it's like a proto multicellular creature.
Basically.
Pretty
All
much.
right. Yeah. Wait until you find one of those on land.
Yeah, that or in the sky. How about that? Just flying squids.
Flying
I am
squids.
back.
Flying targets.
I'm sorry.
Well,
Did
what's
someone say
worse,
target
flying squids
practice?
or what's worse,
I
flying
got me
squids or
a
flying
can of liquid death. Hello?
Get out!
Ah!
Sorry.
Ow!
We're all still here.
Okay.
No, that's the dogs. I have a pellet rifle. I also have a rifle, but okay, so I have a pellet rifle, I have a 22 and a pellet rifle in the same corner, and they both look almost identical.
Similar.
So you have 322 rifles.
No, I have a 303 rifle, a pellet rifle, and a 22. I have guns, and that's just what I have. I'm not talking about the fact that my brother has like he bought like another handgun the other day.
Okay, so in addition to your 3 guns, you also have the pistol, like 5 different knives, a sword.
I'll have you know, technically, this sword is considered a hunting knife.
Oh, oh, okay. A messer.
No, it's a Pakistani hunting knife.
So you
Shamshir?
and then call it a knife.
No, it's a straight. The Pakistanis made straight blades quite frequently.
Oh, that's right, they did.
Yeah.
Now they did make a lot of
They made a lot
made a
of
lot
curved
of curved
blades.
blades.
A lot.
They made a lot of curved blades, like the the Shala Shashka. They made that a lot of those.
It's kind of gay, though.
Like this was before they were Pakistan. This was back in the day when it was like all part of the Byzantine Empire and shit.
Is that how it's
Or they were
pronounced?
cringe.
Byzantine, yeah.
No, you said Byzantine.
Well, it's technically it's either or.
Potato,
It's here,
potato.
potato. Byzantine if you're from Europe, and Byzantine if you're from any functional part of the world that speaks original English. I still hate that American English is actually older in dialect than English.
Yeah, and it's easier to fucking understand too than that fucking oys and idnits.
Who the fuck thinks a fry is a chip? It's a fry. It's been
Oh, it's a fried. It's a thinly fried
All
piece of. It's a chip.
Before we move on, let's just be thankful that at least England isn't like France, where they gender non sapient items like tables. Le table.
I
Le-
think a lot of the Latin-based languages are the same way, like French, Spanish, Portuguese.
We're a
all that.
Latin and French based language majority, but we call a table a fucking table.
But you're offending the table that's not actually a table.
I think
It's an end table.
I think the only
not a
part of
nightstand.
that
All right.
gendering of inanimate objects that's carried through to modern day is like ship names being usually female names.
It's because they have guys inside of them.
I think it's mostly because it's considered good
I
luck.
don't know. I know some guys that'd be happy with just the same thing. All right.
Anyway, it's getting later, so
You can have breakfast. It's getting later. Technically, only Fionn was woken up before, dawn. or around dawn. Everybody else is actually woken up around 10 or 11, so it's really more like brunch.
Oh, so Naibai will definitely already be awake. Naibai usually wakes up with the sun. She's just kind of used to that. Hello?
Poor Faraji.
Hello.
Yes. Hello.
Congratulations, Discord.
There
You
you're
fucked
my
it up
mom.
again.
No,
think-
that's my internet.
Faraji
Blaming
needs to
Discord
tell
'cause it's
somebody
easier.
about his dream because he's upset and he doesn't know how to feel about what it is.
Naibai will talk to them about it. In a totally platonic way.
Mm,
I do not put your ghost finger in Faraji's butt. That's just weird.
No, Naibai isn't even comfortable enough with the rest of the party to do that yet. She's not gonna start playing ghost arm pranks on people for a while.
Kind of feel sad that she's too afraid of Beatrice to do that.
Well, I mean, Naibai can actually see Beatrice, so
It's just mildly terrifying when no one's looking.
okay.
but you know that does give them the advantage of when Beatrice does finally like transform and everyone's like, "Oh my god, whoa, that's so amazing." Naibai will just be like, "Oh, yeah, nothing's changed."
Well, Faraji would know that because she's him around in that form, of course. Tantrum time. Time to chase little or big brother.
Rawr, rawr.
She punched me in the balls. Alright. Faraji is informing you that he had some sort of weird dream where he's seen stuff happening from a perspective that wasn't his own.
Sounds pretty standard from so far.
But it wasn't like something I thought up. This is what you understand. It wasn't like, I want to have a dream about me riding a horse, but not me, like another me that is also not me, is a completely different species than me. No, it wasn't something like that. It was, I don't know. But everything was hot. It was hot and it was stuffy. And the only thing that felt good was the freaking ground. The ground was bubbling, like liquid.
Were you in a pit?
No, it wasn't a mud pit. It was just like outside, like in a burnt forest or something.
Was
It
it
was
dark
weird.
outside or was it light?
It was like nighttime, but it was light because of all of the burning.
Did it smell like rotten eggs?
It smelled like something. And there was a woman there. She was like desperately trying to avoid all of the fire. She was panicking and using magic and throwing a bunch of ice around and this craze, this like you know what it's like when like a hunter is like cornered a bleeding animal and they flail and look on in fear and try and back up, but they can't because they don't have the strength. So all they do is like cry out and whine. It's like watching that.
I
But
always
like,
wondered if there was any actual evolutionary advantage to doing that.
I don't know.
Wait, have I not adjusted? Oh, damn. Hold on, the voice mod has not adjusted automatically. Okay.
It's like there's like the ground was like soft, almost watery, and she was trapped on like the only solid piece. And there was just a bunch of angry swears thrown at, I guess, me or whoever this was. And the most fucked up thing is, I like stood there and watched as they were forced onto the ground by like a foot, and it looked like my foot was burnt to a crisp, and then like the rest of the ground underneath them turned watery and molten. And me, I don't know, pushed and like forcibly sunk them under it, or at least their top half. The bottom half was just kicking and trying to escape, and then it just kind of drifted off on its own and started skating with this like stinking hiss. And then I woke up when like their screams echoed, and here I am, and I feel weird. Like I don't think it was a dream. Feels like somebody did die, if that makes sense.
There might have been a union of an earth and fire elemental. They tend to make stuff like lava, and if there was an ice mage around, they would probably really not like them being around anymore. So that might be what the dream was about. And with an elemental that strong around, it's not really surprising there'd be some sort of premonition about it.
That was the thing. Everything felt cold when I wasn't walking around on the heat. Raji will just flop over against the table.
Naibai will pat them on the back. It's okay. It was just a dream. And if we come across a creature like that, we could always run away.
That's the thing. They tried to run, but they couldn't because people, the faceless men, I guess, just innocents or maybe enemies caught up in this dream. When they try to run, they turn the ground to, I guess, lava and melted their feet out from under them. How do you run from something that can turn the ground you walk on into death traps?
Well, you jump up into the trees or fly away. Uh, I mean, I don't really see a way where standing and fighting would be much better. Realistically, if it can turn the ground into lava as you're running away, it could do it even easier if you're standing still.
I need more caffeine. Raji's just gonna take a nap on the table here.
Okay.
He just hasn't got the energy, apparently.
Naibai is going to order another fresh milkshake.
Takes about an hour, but you do get it.
And they're gonna finish it off and order another one.
Okay, but that's your last one.
Okay.
Another hour and they'll get it.
Naibai will savor this one.
Who was all down there to hear Faraji having a mild panic from his dream?
I am not sure. Would Sen and Beatrice be there?
Sin would have went down because he would have followed Mob down. Because Mob woke him up with a, I don't have a freaking good feeling about today, Sin. So that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
Is
Beatrice would have come down with him.
Kevin probably would have wandered down sometime after he flopped over on the table.
Beatrice probably would have wandered down, or she would have wandered down, should I say, with Sin and Mob when they walked past, and probably would have heard Faraji talking. Which Beatrice would remember that she was told by her parents, at least by Faraji's dad, question mark, and Yon, that it wouldn't be out of question if he started having some sort of random prophetic dreams from the divination magic that is hereditary. The case of Rita.
So Beatrice is going to purse her lips as she considers this. She's going to ask Faraji, do you think that may have been some divination magic from the other side of your family?
I don't know. I don't do the painting magic. Makes me feel weird. Sick of stuff.
Did,
Eh.
did you just interrupt their nap?
Their naps are like 50%. It's more like 30% actual sleep and 70% doing nothing and just stagnating in one spot.
Air quotes, resting their eyes.
Mm-hmm. You feel cold still.
Naibai is gonna give him a hug.
What did
Beatrice
you
will have
say, Lev?
another. Oh, Beatrice will have another thing trigger in her brain. She's getting an inclination it may have been some sort of divination in his dream, because an after effect of untrained divination mages is experiencing sensations that whomever they're divining, be it inadvertently in this case, might have had.
Oh, well, it's a good thing they weren't divining someone getting their head chopped off.
Can't happen.
And Faraji would be like, my neck hurts.
I can't feel my legs, or my arms, or anything down there. Help?
I can't feel anything below my shoulders.
And just Faraji, I'm too handsome to be beheaded. You have no idea the amount of fours he gets when he walks into a new room.
You willing to help me swap some pairs out?
No!
No.
They make a what?
I just started the thing.
We're in the middle of
Not that
something.
yet.
No, not allowed. It's your turn.
Angry Fox.
Re.
Don't rate at people.
Probably here in about 2-ish hours.
How's
Alright.
gonna be? Let's see. Okay.
I writ at you.
Don't you stop, bad. So what I was saying is the amount of fours Faraji gets when he walks into a new room. Not him, but other people. Should it be the amount of fours he causes?
The amount of force he receives, I guess.
Yeah.
Not the ones that he rolls, but the amount of ones rolled about him.
Mm. Oh, you're saying fours. I heard something different.
Fours?
Did you hear whores?
Yeah, I was hearing whores. I was really confused for a second.
I mean, there's been a few. Like, nobody. People don't keep up with Faraji. Faraji in the background fucking. Like, he's just doing his own thing in the background sometimes when they're not adventuring. Bonnie will also join you. Thus, you will have everyone.
Huzzar.
Yandra will walk in and sit down and like a fucking shadow. That's where Murnaz will bring, well, Fionn and Shizuna with him. Now Fionn has like this weird blank spot in his memory. He remembers the lesson being done, and then they stepped out of the door following after Murnaz, and now they're here, the kitchen.
And he's like, wait, how?
Hold on. Did it look out or something?
My
Well,
my headcanon is teleportation magic works as long as you keep your eyes shut. If you open your eyes while you're within an object, you get stuck.
Yeah.
That's why it's called blinking.
That's kind of how it works for me, except for instead of you getting stuck, you just go insane. It's supposed to see things.
Murnaz will walk over and put his fingers on Faraji's forehead. Nayavai.
Huh?
Come with me. It's time you learn to make a sound to treat something of the magical variety.
Oh, yay. Slurp.
You have a limit of 2 of those a day.
Aggressive slurp.
Furrowed brow, aggressively pursed lips on straw. Slurp.
Very luscious and plump-looking lips, I'll have you know.
One might say pouty.
I don't know if I rolled to see how attracted Beatrice was to her.
Dude, Naibai? Go for it.
Let's find out. Google.
Don't roll for Murnaz. It's not fair, by the way. You will have to get a 4 because he's fucking evil.
Be evil. Have girlfriends.
Don't.
She doesn't seem to care about Naibai that way. It's just a
Oh,
friend.
so rude. She's just so cute. You want to pet her ears. Pet her between the ears because the ears are an erogenous zone for rabbit creatures.
Yes.
Naibai is too cute to be looted.
That is not fucking true.
I was about to say. Don't lie.
Murnaz is in a very Murnaz alone would probably do some very lewd things because he's a good butler. Bending tall. I need a new leg. Find one. Can you imagine losing a leg? Murnaz comes back with a similar leg. The size is the same. Where did you get this? Don't question me.
It even has the same blood still in it. Concern.
Somewhere. My leg! He just showed up and cut my fucking leg off and gave me a coin. Saying, sorry for the troubles. And he paid me for my leg. I needed that.
Oh, hey, a platinum.
Oh, hey, platinum. Fuck work. That would be some funny How or what?
How are Fion's singing lessons coming along?
He's no longer tone deaf.
Oh, good. He can sing the McDonald's jingle. Waiting for internet to come back so I can hear what the rest of the party is doing. Oh, and now Discord has a low bar. Yay. Thanks, Spectrum, for being
It's smacked
terrible.
with.
Yay, the internet's back.
Woo! Alright.
It,
Naiba goes
Gavel
for
all over again.
I swear it's getting worse.
It probably is. Gators keep chewing on your internet lines.
Or humping them.
Yep.
Or
Gators
both.
like to hump random objects.
Fucking electro-stim fetish alligators.
You just see an alligator doing alligator things on the bottom of a pond, and then just they do that rumble thing. It's like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Apparently, the rumble is a perfect B flat.
And just as a side note, have you guys seen that video of that guy? It's like petting this gator on the snoot, and it's doing its rumbly growl thing at him.
I don't think I have.
It's kind of cute, but also moderately terrifying. Because that's a big noise from a big lizard.
How about the
All right.
video of the guy petting the gator that wiggles its tail?
Oh,
That
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I have.
I have that on my phone. You want me to send it later? Alright, so Naiba needs to remember. Faraji is currently suffering from. The best way we can describe. Are you familiar with the concept of what happens to someone who doesn't know magic tries to use magic?
They get mana sickness, don't they?
Yes, it's like eating undercooked food. It's doable, but enough of it and you'll get a foodborne illness.
Yeah, the mana sicknesses can be pretty intense depending which one you get.
Thankfully, he just has a small case of the lingering effects of a prophetic magic. Well, not really prophetic. Prophetic entails future. Smelled more like to me of him viewing something that had happened prior. So what we're going to need to treat him is a little of these flux seeds here. Let's see. Perhaps a little bit of haircut work. Ah, yes. And some aiding cotton. That should work. There we go.
So that was fluxseed, hadacot, and fading cotton.
Yes, that's all you'll need. That is going to create essentially. Well, it can be prepared in multiple ways, but Murnaz will teach you the most efficient, or rather, maybe not the most efficient, but the most gentle way to treat someone with it, and that's by brewing it into a tea that you can safely mix some sugar into to make it not taste like shit. And it's essentially just a all-purpose. It'll treat most minor afflictions of any mana sickness. Like a detoxifier for magic. Because mixing all those ingredients together properly creates a anti-magic effect in the body. Yeah, maybe.
Wasn't Faraji a mage? I thought he was.
Well, Faraji is a mage, but
He's just not
doesn't.
trained in divination magic.
And even if you're a really good like conjurer or healer, if you try to do magic outside of your specific specialty, you're still fully susceptible to it. It's like I'm a really good archer, but I don't know how to use a one of the extremely convoluted 18th century rotary cannon.
Well, it's a different set of muscles.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
like,
basically all it is.
you can be trained in how to do archery from the age of 10 and to really develop that bone structure and muscles and everything to pull back like a 400-pound bow just as a regular human. But if you try to, like, go and then stab with a sword after doing all that training, you're gonna suck at it.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's probably gonna hurt.
But that's basically what's going on. He'll be fine. It's just that if you do get mana sickness, it basically just it saps a percentage of your. It basically lowers the amount of mana you can have at any given time. And once it gets bad enough, it'll start targeting your HP like a poison. Oh, by the way, a fucking thing that's been in the game since we started that I completely blanked on: surrender mechanics.
Oh,
Or, well,
shit.
not really surrender. Well, surrender, and that's like it ties into the incapacitations, which is a mechanic where you're not necessarily guaranteed to die. It's only applicable in most things, by the way. Like the enemy has to be capable of understanding when you're incapacitated or not. You know, like you can't use incapacitation to cheese. Like, oh well, we'll just be incapacitated here and let somebody come along and eventually wake us back up in this dungeon. No, no. See, you're gonna die if a monster kills you. But like, if another person does it, like another fully understanding person, and, they can knock you the fuck down to 1 HP and just leave you there, unable to do anything.
Unless they're a gamer, in which case they're probably button mashing. It's like, I yield, slash.
I feel a little bit called out. Could you not?
Could you not remind me of playing Assassin's Creed?
The absolute worst mistake I ever made in Skyrim was trying to send one of the fucking rangers after me. Because I had a mod that added basically the Imperial Rangers into Skyrim. First thing that they did, sending them after me when I was on top of a mountain, and then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna capture you." Fucking okay. Needless to say, took them like fucking 2 weeks of 2 real world weeks of me playing for them to fucking catch back up to me.
You just launch him off the mountain.
Yes, I did. I just let them over the edge and like fucking guarded while I walked around, and then no, just the full package just roll by, and then they just fucking sailed into the distance.
I watched someone do that to a wild
What I want to know is
fox
how
on a
did
really
they?
high mountain. They went and found it. It was almost dead. It had like 2 HP left, and it was in a small city that you couldn't get to until or you weren't really supposed to go to until later on in the story.
Ah.
I
And the funny thing
like
was,
to point out.
is it was found about 2 feet away from a dead chicken that it had impacted and killed.
No, that's a fox.
Ugh. The weirdest part about that fucking ranger finding me is I was at the throat of the world doing this stuff with Parthenax. Like I was doing the initial crap with him. I want to know how did it get past like the death wall of ice and all the. I mean, the trolls are already dead, but the ice wall was a thing. I already killed every living thing up there, but the wall of like sentient death trees. How did it get past that? My assumption is it just spawned it in the area down the mountain and then it walked up.
It probably just used the same player tactics to avoid all that bullshit and walked up the side of the mountain using weird little hitboxes.
Up.
You're
I miss
mad
being
because
able to
you've done it.
I miss being able to bounce my horse off of water in Skyrim. Okay. Yeah, if you found like you used to be able to angle your horse right and then do a charge with it, and it would like bounce it off and send you flying. It was a dead horse, but once you landed, but you would be fine most of the time. Skyrim had
You
abusable
kind of did the
physics,
same thing
dude.
in Battlefield
Literally,
4. You back an ATV into a body of water. Or a
stopping
LAV,
here.
rather.
We're stopping here. Just, just Google fucking plate climbing. That's all you need to know.
Okay.
Yes.
Not really knowing what's going on.
It's
When
going to be
Beyond sits down.
Oh, nothing. I'm just gonna go ahead and put like one of these sound effects on in the background and let you guys get to it.
It's raining.
Yay!
not really knowing what's going on. When Fiona sits down at the table, he's gonna look over at him, Raji. Tadashi, are you alright? A little under the weather.
Yeah. I'm blue. Oh, it's raining. Beatrice.
Yes? She's going to move over to him.
This is your fault somehow.
Why is it my fault?
I don't know. Because we don't have a middle sister or brother to blame it on.
Oh.
I know. It's your fault somehow, Fiona. Yeah, exactly. You don't even know what you did. That's how bad it was.
Alright, hold on, let me rephrase that. What did I do this time?
Jack. You made me have a dream. I think.
And
I had this dream. Shut up, Rain. I'll kick your ass.
This is going to begin rubbing at his ear.
You. Okay.
I just can imagine him slowly melting onto the table and just like.
All right. So what happened? While he's talking, like he's lied on his right side across the table. You know, like you do after like a long day at work, or you're just bored. You slump that whole side over. So he's lied like that. Fate cheek rested on his bicep, and the whole time he's talking to you, he's just moving his right hand around with no clear direction, just explaining. Okay. I had this dream, or it was some thing or person, and like it started with like a bunch of like faceless men or assailants or something or another doing some stuff that was less than acceptable because I was minding my fucking business, and then they tried to run in like a panic, and then like I stomped at the ground. And this is all, it's not really me, but it's like in this perspective of this person, just for easier explanation. I like stomped the ground and made it like turn to like lava, and all of their feet like melted, and they just fell there, screaming and skittering across. Because apparently, you don't sink into rock. Oh no. And then it was night, but it was bright. It was like noon in this area almost. Just all the molten everything, like hundreds of feet of just lava. And I was walking along, going after this person, this woman, ice mage or somebody. They were using ice. There was really strong-ish ice, but it was basically pointless. Every time they threw it at me, it got within a few feet and just started to evaporate. And like I could see like the air was distorted with the heat. And like
It wasn't
like
Slytherin.
uh what?
It wasn't Slytherin, was it?
No, it wasn't Pretty Elf Lady. It was this woman with really long black hair, and she wore a dress that says, "I know I have a fine body, but I'm not a whore unless you get me drunk or pay me with gems," kind of lady, like that kind of person. It was one of those. You would probably like it, or Sen would probably like you, because it's like an open on the left side kind of dress. It's very tasteful and pretty. It was mostly charred though. She was panicking and throwing this ice magic. And like when an animal's bleeding out, if you've ever hunted, they're screaming and they're concerned and like, oh, and that
they,
that futility that they have in terror,
Panic
that
into a corner.
they had that because all around them, except for maybe 5 or 6 feet on either side, was lava. They were on the only solid piece of stationary ground. And then when I got close enough to them as this person, I like raised my foot, which looked all black and charred like I had been burned, and I pushed it on their face and pushed them down into the ground, which I started to turn into more lava, and I like forcibly sunk their head and like torso into it, and eventually like their legs were kicking and flailing before being burned off, and they just went skating along the surface while I kept them like what was left of them pushed under. And like the only thing I heard was like a shrill ringing scream from them. Then I woke up and I feel cold. I felt so cold. The only time I didn't feel cold was when I was making more lava and burning things. Everything felt freaking cold to me though. Now I feel freaking cold, but not like as cold.
Kevin would kind of clear his throat a bit. Oh, that sounds like you got a sneak peek of one of the osmiums of our guild.
I think it was. Don't think it was Vesuvius, do you?
Absolutely.
I was wondering that from the description.
That being said, due to the current circumstance that has led us out here, among other things that led up to this point, don't go telling anyone else about what you saw.
But why not?
I don't know if I get yelled at if I told you, but considering that it's the shortest version of it that I can say is that there is a massive church that wants to destroy the guild, and they're starting at the bottom and working up. That's why we got sent in. So try not to draw attention to yourself by talking to people we don't know about that particular dream, as Vesuvius is kind of our trump card.
So there's a cult that's trying to kill.
No, not a cult, an organized church, it sounds like.
Well, by definition. Just let that one lie. Yeah, no, long and short of it is just, I'm sorry that you had to experience that. That is Vesuvius's method of fighting. It's horrifying, isn't it?
Sounds like
I felt powerful.
Oh, he is incredibly powerful, but the problem with being powerful like
But
that,
I felt him.
exactly. Vesuvius is an incredibly kind person, but at the same time, he
big man.
it wouldn't. Yeah, basically try not to make him mad. It's not like he's going to just snap and then burn your face off. It's just.
Don't give him a reason.
But that still makes him sound like he would just snap and then murder you. It's not. He's incredibly powerful.
Not what I mean, though. Don't. You know what? Don't. You know what I'm trying to say, though.
Don't find yourself on the wrong side of either the guild or, well, don't get in his way when he's trying to do something. The best way to describe it, and it's oddly appropriate. Do you know what a pyroclastic flow is?
A what?
Yeah. Pyroclastic flow. It's kind of it's one of the when a volcano. Think of it like the opposite of an avalanche. And by the opposite, I mean it's so absolutely mind-bendingly hot and full of nearly molten rock and toxic gas uh, that it strips you to a skeleton in the instant it touches you. That's kind of like getting in his way. Assuming, of course, that he's not just going to slap you out of the way because stupid, get out of my way.
Nightby, you will have been brought back around the time that Kevin started explaining stuff. So if you want, you can tell them what you were told by your ghosty friend.
Naibai shall do that.
Alright. Dark has forgotten everything. I guess I can
No.
fully
I didn't take notes on it.
Okay. Murnaz will see that this is a private discussion and just kind of snap his fingers, and almost all of the staff will just run out. They're very scared of the head butler. And
As
he'll
one should be.
respectfully leave and shut the door. Simply knock into a snap if you need anything. To Madame Bonia. Thank you. Bonnie's been sitting there enjoying a fucking bowl of ice cream with what looks like wafers and peanut butter. She found the sweets and nobody can stop her. Okay. Now everybody will go through this extensive conversation, explain a lot to you. It all started with your literal first mission, because fuck you, that's what the dice decided. That mess you happened upon was the Church of Omnius, which is Ilvamar's and possibly all of Faulttime's largest organized religion. It's basically, if you were to mix Christianity and Islam together into Chrislam, if you would.
The organization and the drive and belief of Christianity.
More original Islam. It's
Oh, so Christianity squared.
pure. Islam and Christianity were horrifyingly similar, and then the abdication period happened, and it got all weird. Anyways, they explained to you that the Church of Omnius has a very nettle lane path in history with the Adventurers Guild, starting all the way back about 5-ish hundred years ago, give or take. Maybe some more if I can ever find the fucking calendar I wrote out. Oh fuck! I gotta go get a plate of the din din. Apparently, I was asked kindly 14 minutes ago, but my phone didn't go off. That's because I've mostly got it muted while we do this, so it doesn't make a bunch of yelling noises in the background because people can't stop sending me stuff. I'll explain this though, and then I'll go get it. Freaking bitches. I got all the important information. Right. It was during the days of the Ilvamar royal family, who were these people were, fuck it, I'm throwing on more thunderstorms, were along the line of, people are too stupid to think for themselves, so we think for them, and they do everything for us. And if they don't, they die, or they get in prison, or we take their stuff,
And
and
then they
then
die.
we're gonna do it anyways. They're gonna die anyways.
And then they die.
This, of course, led them into a lot of wars, disease, and poverty from what started out as a decent leadership, and then just gradually got worse because spoiled children, not really incentivized to do anything but do what they want. Eventually, though, around the third or fourth generation, the eldest son of the ruling king of Ilvamar was named Rosenfor, and then Nayabai's ghost. That's me.
Hey, I'm that person.
That's me. As when Naibai mentions him, It's like, yeah, that's my name.
Happy to have
Mention
a
that,
semblance of self.
huh?
Just happy to have a semblance of self after how many hundreds of years of being dead.
Right. Um, he didn't like what his family was doing. He didn't think it was right that the people that they relied so heavily on to survive were being treated basically like waste that could be thrown away because fuck you. So he devised a plan with a former guild master back then named Keinspritter. That was his name. That's what they know him as. He was like
Well,
like
I
the
guess I'll never find out.
oh, is something going on?
The internet did the thing again.
Oh, well, Rosenfor and Keinspritter came to a sort of an agreement. The Adventurers Guild has always been an independent organism in this regard. Like they've been an independent body. They've always done what they do, and they don't get caught up in politics most of the time. They usually have a policy against it for obvious reasons. It's a dirty mess, and it leads to a bunch of bullshit. Um, but the guild had did what it could to minimize the damage and shit that it was caused by the blatant disregard for life and consideration for the people of former royal family. So they got together and it basically went from a little whisper to a full blown plan that they enacted. Naturally, the church, which had great ties with the royal family, the Church of Omnius at the time, um, didn't like the concept of the peasants and beggars being allowed to do what they want because if they were left alone, they would surely live in sin and be worthless and not do what they were supposed to do, like worship uh, their their god. So that's where that whole rivalry started. Less of a rivalry; it's more like one person hating somebody else and never informing the other person that they hate them. Um, it's more what it was like. So Rosenfor started a civil war over this. Him and his wife and children and their friends in the Adventurer Guild against his entire family and the church. And it was very bloody. But the Adventurers Guild did have just the experience and the training and managed to win, which broke the kingdom of Ilvamar, and thus it became the Empire of Ilva Romana, also known as Ilva Imperia, as they call it. And Rosenfor was the first emperor. And once he took over, he tried to settle ties, as a good person does, as an actual good leader does after a revolution. Tries to make things water under the bridge and all that. Of course, the church and his family weren't happy about that, and he knew what would happen. So, a few years after his success, he ultimately went to his family to, apologize, and they did assassinate him, but he knew that was coming. And that's why when he was buried in the family crypt underneath that house, which used to long time ago belong to the former royal family, that's why he was stuck in the corner like a dirty sand rag of some kind from the beach that you can't get any of the particles out of. You try to forget about because he was a traitor and a bastard, a kin killer they called him. But he was also the emperor who founded and wrote laws and everything to create not only a decent empire, but probably the best one on this continent, maybe, that had anti-discrimination laws against the fellow beast folk who had been there for thousands of years alongside most humans. Some who have even been there, like the Vipera, who had been there before most human civilizations sprouted up and became the powerhouse they were, as well as elves and just generally everything. And he tried to be a good emperor and take care of his people and not treat them like shit. And he also forgave the church, but they got rid of their old clergy. Of course, old wounds fester and can't exactly fight a superpower for hire in the front, so they've been devising a plan for about 500 years because, you know, churches will hold a grudge a long damn time. And they're holding that grudge. That's what you've been informed. They're holding that grudge to try and find a way to kill the Adventurers Guild. And their best idea was to kill as many rookies as they can, as many low-ranking veterans as they can, to thin their numbers out and make it so they just can win sheerly through a war of attrition against them. Of course, the guild is now hot on this, and there's one thing that's missing though, because there was a plan that was mentioned that Rosenforth, Ghostenforth, as we'll call him, mentioned. Is that there's a piece of the puzzle that doesn't make sense, and that's this plan of theirs was for something that would create an event that would strain the Adventurers Guild, making them vulnerable in the event that they couldn't kill enough rookies. And that's what's gnawing at him and subsequently Naibai, and now subsequently you. What exactly was gnawing at them? Which is the only and Ghost and Four, as we'll call him, because that's what we're going to call him, is Ghost and Four.
I just imagine Naibai is conveying all this by just like having their mouth open and then someone else's voice is coming out.
Yeah, basically. He'll throw this bone is the only thing I can think of event-wise that would strain the guild is a sudden world boss.
Oh, what?
It's not comforting.
I wonder if what Faraji may have seen might have been about that.
I hope they don't try to get Vesuvius to lose his mind. That better not be what they're thinking. That would be the worst
Well, what if it
outcome.
was about Vesuvius that Faraji was saying? Maybe it was some sort of creature.
I had on clothes, I know that. Had to have been him.
I've heard Vesuvius mention once or twice that he's cold. Fuck. In the middle of summer, no less. So.
It's still raining. Rain sound effects. Wait, hold on. Let me see. Now that I've got this sound working, they're like a rain sound effect for you, game. A beach, deep sea. I got a.
Ooh,
That is aggressive.
I turned it down
aggressive
some.
rain.
How's that? That work for you guys? I'm just gonna leave that on. It'll loop in the background.
Yes, good.
Ghost and Forth. Well, this is him really helping you here. There's only a few world bosses that could be a threat to the Ilvamar's, at least the region's guild. They would have to be destruction entities, monsters, or fallen entities, or gods, which have been historically resurrected as world bosses. Every
I think
few
that-
hundred years.
Say what you were saying.
I think that this.
Yeah. Talk to yourselves. I gotta get food.
You don't think that this church would try to resurrect their own god? Try to bring them.
I don't know enough about their beliefs to know if that is an actual thing or if they're just one of those new conglomerate, hey, this is an idea kind of things, kind of religions. And if that's the case, and they try to resurrect an idea, I don't even think that would work. Or they could be based on an actual old god, and then we could be completely and totally screwed.
From what I've gathered from hearing him talk, it sounds like this is a long-established church that's been around for a while.
They've definitely been around a minute. They're mentioned. That if you find any old history text on it, you'll find they're mentioned pretty frequently.
Maybe we should let few people know also that there's some potential danger. I know that my mom would probably want to know a little bit about this, and maybe even we should warn this Kiri and Ricky that their vacation may be disrupted. I don't know. And we should also probably let Bonnie's father, he's going to gesture at Bonnie. We should probably let him know that there's danger about too, so that he can protect his friends and family if something should happen.
If they are trying to resurrect the world boss, this could be the death of many, many, many hundreds, if not thousands of people, regardless of if they're engaging in the fight or not.
Yes, I think that we should definitely let certain people know that there's potential for danger, so that they can take action to prepare just in case.
Definitely. We do know that the guilds know. The guild knows. They're working on plans and trying to leverage what they can to mitigate and prepare.
And we've got the mysterious shadow. Well, I would say shadow, but mysterious doing some investigating on it. So that should help us to find out what their plan.
Ah, the rain's still going. Good.
While you were away, we kind of mentioned that we should probably inform certain individuals that there could be danger percolating, such as Mon, so that he could prepare to protect his family and friends, and perhaps Erie and Ricky and Yon. And well, of course, Sirius would already know since she's involved in investigating, so that part would be covered.
Hey, Kevin.
Hmm.
Put me a D100. A D100 for knowledge.
A D100 for knowledge. No benefit? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Can I
no
reroll?
benefits.
This is awful. Can I reroll?
That is knowledge, which I think is intelligence.
You remember what happened the last time you got to re-roll something for free. The dice don't like it.
Well, they don't like what I have right now. So this is based on intelligence. I'd only get 143 because I rolled a 10.
It's based on...
Let me take a look here. Knowledge is intelligence.
Yeah, so if that's the case, it's 145. That's it.
You know what? I'll let you do it just because it's plot essential.
It went worse. It went to 2.
What did I just say? What did I just say?
100 options. How? That the odds of that are yes equal and whatever, but
no,
that doesn't happen.
Don't you talk to me
What's
about
your overall?
odds. This motherfucker who's DMing us rolled the same damn number I did 5 times in a row.
Okay, I just spammed my D100 a bunch of times on my phone, and it rolled all sub-10s the entire duration of the spam.
Alright.
So it does not want you to know.
The dice have spoken. Kevin doesn't know.
No. Do you get over 102?
With just... Yes, over 102, yes, easily. I'm at 135 with just intelligence.
a thing triggers in your brain. Ghosts and Forth over here talking about war boss would have to be gods, usually ones of destruction. Okay. And then they had to be resurrectable. And you know, because Noro's told you, because he remembers reading a bunch of reports that Siluran, he remembers reading a bunch of reports post-coitus that were in Siluran's office. Past the time, only waits for her to, be presentable so he doesn't get in trouble or something. And he remembers telling you a bunch because it's your problem when he has something that's bothering him. You need an artifact of a god to resurrect them, but you also need knowledge of them, the rights to resurrect them, and sacrifices of the people who worship them. You do remember you talked to that other Lepera, and they told you of a god that when you came over and started when your people came over a long time ago, were kind of killing and enslaving others. You had a lot of sacrifices in the name of an ancient god of blood and warfare named Zalvos.
Oh no. Ivy. Beatrice, do you
Nibby?
still have... My brain does not function. Shut. But, don't we have just... Kevin would kind of pipe up, rudely interrupting the conversation. Don't we have a dagger belonging to an ancient Vipera god of blood and death and stuff?
Beatrice is going to blink a few times and just, yeah, I have that.
Shit. What are the odds that there are people that know that you have persons are potentially double agents or spies?
Well, the person who gave it to me as a quest reward might know, but aside from that, I don't know who else they may have told about it. I haven't been able to ask anyone about it yet.
Oh boy.
Didn't we
Well,
get that
let's...
quest reward as part of like a bundle where we had to pick one?
Yes, and that's what's concerning. Well, kind of concerning, even though it's not an issue anymore.
Well, we were told what all those items are. We just picked the one with the god in it because we all collectively decided Ivy should get the item. Not
That's
Ivy,
true.
fuck.
I'm sorry, it's on me.
And Beatrice.
Yes, Beatrice.
Our favorite boss.
I like how you've all been talking for about 3 hours now.
This is a concerning matter.
Well, no, like in game, you're actually progressing time fast because you're having very interesting conversations.
Kevin, what you're saying, or what I think you're saying, is that Beatrice currently has a missing piece of the puzzle that resurrect the god.
I'm assuming that I understand what one of the other Viperas here on the farm were saying. Yes.
You know, I don't feel like this is the only one of the.
And even if
I
they
assume
are,
there-
even
I
if they...
assume there,
Go ahead.
But think.
I
If
assume
the-
there are many others like this, especially if it's just a low-level quest reward.
Well, that's the thing. Have you guys leveled up enough to be a significant threat to a very powerful and power hungry and obviously vindictive cultish religion thing to not just warrant being sent or having someone incredibly powerful sent after you and just kill you to take something relatively easily? Meaning taking candy from a baby.
Barney will pipe in. I recall, they actually told us that sometimes veterans put things in the reward pool for rookies, specifically, just to mess with them.
I remember that too. We were
God,
having a
Have
you're
that
conversation.
kind of
wrong.
capability.
I remember we were having a conversation about being watched, and the accountant across the counter said exactly that.
You're not wrong.
Which,
No.
yes, we are being watched constantly.
There's some kind of
Condolences.
things I'll do it right.
I'm being a butt.
Naibai will shake their now empty drink.
They will even come back with a cup of hot, frothy cocoa with the milk and that little freaking weird cinnamon crap scraped onto the top.
Yay. You're the best.
Not even humble, just you're right.
This is a fact.
You are correct. I am the best.
Do we know what religion that this church even have, or what they worship?
It's like a book club, right?
Oh, Kevin, you do remember that Vipera told you a lot of humans even got into worshiping him.
Kevin just kind of rubs his forehead. Well, so I'm not directly a viper. I'm sure I've heard stories, or at least have heard in passing. I wasn't born here. So the nuance is lost on me, but I was talking to the foreman, I guess you could call him. So you guys know how some humans, well, I guess humans get a rap for being rather bloodthirsty. Like they can get spun up real easy. When they do, they typically take it really far. Well, think how the Vivimancers do, and think of some slightly unhinged human getting into that way of life, and then finding out about this ancient blood and destruction god of the Viperas.
Murnaz will raise his hand politely, wondering if he may chime in under the conversation of guest.
Yes, gladly. If you have something more than no something than I do, please.
Might I suggest you remember this? Vivimancers as a class taught often requires one to have an understanding of ritualistic dismemberment, spirit talk through the power of blood spilt in the or rather the malefic art of blood magic, using the very essence of life to corrupt and perverse. Coincidentally, that was also one of Dalvos's things. He's not the only god, but he stuck around for a while because Vipera are very vehement about who they worship.
Well, if you've got a good thing going, why change it? At least that's what I would assume would be the thought behind that.
Anyways, I'm sure it's nothing. We have Valugra's security anyways. One would hope. And Murnaz will wander off. Not singing a lullaby this time.
Just as a side note, I do like him. He has an amazing butler and has an interesting way about him, but it scares me.
That's okay.
Just a little bit.
That's okay. Beer is good.
But point being, if we have Vipera death, or well, Vivimancy, essentially rituals out there in human animals, not, and this is of course not just trying to say that all humans are evil. That's not the case. We've got Mons and Bonnie and the like to as a good example of this.
Your friend
You guys
Noro
might like them. perfect. Well, yeah, no,
Somewhere.
he's a good person.
I feel like somebody's about to make a fucking mistake.
Someone about to get fucked?
Who am I gonna say?
Oh, what do I know? What do I know? Titties.
Just rolls back over.
Basically. He's having the time of his life.
Mhm.
Oh, this is good. He needs to.
Kevin's on to
Well,
something.
So, if you've got a church with a grudge, good way to describe it, a grudge boner against our group, and one of the only ways to take us out would be to spread us too thin through the use of something crazy powerful, like a Vipera Death God. Blood God? Well, point being,
Nothing
A blot.
good.
there's a
Maybe
lot
what?
of bad. There's just nothing good that can come of this. I can't imagine we're the only ones to have come to this conclusion. But I'm starting to wonder if maybe we shouldn't get back and see if there's anything we can help with.
We could ask Beluga if we can leave.
I mean, we are kind of on quarantine question mark because of the whole bug thing.
But it's raining.
Do we,
Oh,
they
hold on.
make
Technically.
umbrellas and galoshes? I don't know.
Oh, hold on. No. Here we go.
Oh, great. It got worse.
Oh, good. It gets worse.
Still my favorite response to something shitty.
Right.
Oh, good. It gets worse.
Well, we could always Tonguebirds. I suppose we could always wait it out.
It's true. It's not like they're perfectly at that point where having a few some lower level adventurers. Yeah.
Naibai is going to look out the window to see what's going on outside.
Speaking of which, what is the
Okay.
hippogriff up to?
Naibai peeking out a window. Good.
Big pumpkin. Jesus.
Naibai. You know that sound. You can see that little cylindrical hole in the glass.
Naibai is just going to casually walk over to the nearest door. They're gonna step outside, take a deep breath, and scream at the top of their lungs. What's going on? And I say, hey, hey,
Oh no.
what's going on?
Yes. A loud thunder crack, and then you can hear.
Okay, did Kevin hear that? Would anyone else besides?
That's very easy to hear.
I'm pretty sure people would hear Naibai, screaming.
Well, not the screaming, but so much as
They would hear
idiots.
Naibai scream, the thunder crack, and then I'll reiterate. None of them hit, though. Those are bullets, though, Naibai, or some sort of projectile. Most of them missed you.
And now I have to roll things.
To anyone that was near Kevin, they would have probably gotten bumped as his elbows were bumped out to the side by the now manifested cannon. Ah, shit! I gotta open my big mouth.
Fion probably would have grabbed the
Yes.
person that was closest to them and helped them get down so they were under the window line.
Well, hearing all these impacts and such, Beatrice would hurry over to Naibai and pull her inside. by the tail if she has to.
Oh, she's not outside of the building. She just went over to, like, the nearest door.
Well, the nearest door was through the double doors and off to the left. It's only about a 30-foot away from the end of the table.
Okay. The dice have said she's breathing heavily, and that sun tattoo on her missing arm is glowing just a little bit. But she seems to be mostly under control.
Well, Beatrice is going to attempt to move her away from the door.
She will come with you.
The Scorpion Butler just kind of gonna walk in and put his book down, wondering what the fuck you guys are doing in here.
We're getting shot at. Is there any like a way to alarm and alert everyone, or is the fact that we're getting shot at enough?
It's raining. I'm sure it's just a thunder crack. That's about the time just kind of...
He would kind of gesture to the now holes and probably glass and wall.
Haha, I heard a
Just the
squib.
thunder.
Oh, yeah, no. 2 of them were in the wall, but one of them kind of looks like it got him through the back.
Need a hand?
I have 2 of those, you fucker. Let's try. Beluga. Putting the storm back on.
Good.
Ah, yes. You're in combat, but you don't know where.
The best kind of combat.
Can I play 2 sounds at once? Oh, I don't know.
Kevin's gonna knock over a table towards the direction of
That's a heavy table
Ah!
you're trying to knock over.
Perfect! Cover!
Ah, yes. Bonnie will help. Father is going to be very mad, but she will help flip over that beautiful oak table.
I would rather have your dad mad at me rather than get shot now.
Bullets
Is at
hurt
least-
less.
I don't want to find that out for sure, because at least it would be
You
instant
hear
death
that.
from him.
Ah, it does stop it.
Ah! We have frustrated our attackers. We should probably leave before they pull out something heavier.
Oh my god. Thank you, dice.
What?
Ah, yes. Hold on. I want this.
What is what?
Just want this sound in the distance. Is this a thunder crack?
Hell
Oh,
no,
fuck,
that's not-
no, that's not a thunder. Kevin is going
I
to.
know that
Who's
sounds
closest to
very
him?
well, thank you very much.
Who's closest to Kevin?
Currently Bonnie.
Okay. Kevin is going to give her a firm yet launching shove with his foot and scatter the fuck off to the side from where they were, yelling, "Clear out."
No.
'Cause fuck you, that was a mortar or an artillery piece. Most likely a mortar because we're not dead before the sound of the blast gets to us.
No, don't worry. Let's see. I have to do a dice roll here. You forget. You haven't seen Marianne all morning. She's probably pissed.
Oh my god, she's probably livid.
That's
Hopefully she's not. I hope she hasn't been hit yet.
Well, Marianne hasn't been here. She's been in her room. But she's been awoken by a ruckus and a storm. Oh, and by the Scorpion Butler who ran off to look for Velugra. Whilst bleeding. I have to skip
He'll be
over that
okay.
scene.
He's durable.
While scrambling to find cover, Fiona is going to equip his armor and bow.
No, it's good reflex to have a weapon on you, but I think in this instance, I don't know if a bow would actually be used simply due to range. Just
Better
as
than
another
nothing.
character note.
It's better than nothing.
Hey, more to take shrapnel.
Yes. Enemy perspective. Let's see. Would you like to try it at this distance in a fucking thunderstorm? Also, keep it down over there. Fucking make me.
Don't sit in one spot for too long. That's how they get you.
You only heard the one. And it takes that. You can hear that whiz. Once you that ass clench moment, and let's make sure this isn't too loud because I know this is loud. Last time I checked.
So, just as a side note, artillery shells do make a horrendous shooshing noise through the air.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
they do.
They also make this noise when something detonates them prematurely.
Fion is gonna see if there's any glass that he can use as like a mirror on the floor where he's at.
It won't do you any good. But you know what? There is a glass piece, especially since that small shockwave shattered some of the windows.
He's gonna stay low, but he's gonna use that a piece of glass to kind of lift up to see if he can see where it's coming from.
Ah, yes, perfect. Just right out of your fucking hand. That distance, though. Naibai is the only one who would know what they're using, because Naibai has seen them used.
Yeah, and Naibe is really struggling to fight this urge to just run out there and rip them apart. Because she knows that if she does that, she's probably gonna lose the other arm.
Whatever they're using, they've got us dialed in.
I'm sorry,
I
Naibai
don't
is
wanna get
unavailable at the moment to physical beings.
No, he's just yelling out to everyone,
Alright.
whoever can hear it.
Rosenforth
Because
wants to know if he can put her on auto take over so she can calm down and she doesn't run off and get shot. Because he really likes being anchored to the physical plane and doesn't want to go back where there's not ghost ice cream.
He's gonna have to take that up with every other spirit in the location.
Ah, yes. It's interesting. Rosenforth is like, alright, here's the question. Who thinks they can kill an emperor? Newsflash. It's hard. I killed 4 of my uncles, who were osmiums, before I died. All the other ghosts apparently do lose. He got a 416 and they got 190.
Ooh.
Very persuasive.
Total
Very
fucking
intimidating.
smoke out his ass.
What a Chad.
Alright. He's gonna happily take over Naibai so she can calm down. And when he does, he just the functional arm just there, petting cheek. Alright, don't worry. What are you laughing at? Fucker?
That's a whole character, and I'm eating very dry bread, so fuck off for a minute.
Just another distant. But this one, even sooner. You can hear from upstairs. Nice fucking try! Hans is gonna be pissed.
Ah, fuck.
Did they hit his hydrangeas?
These fucking shockwaves are fucking up his gardens and his grove. Better hope it doesn't kill his super special plant.
It's just, upon death of the plant, Mons literally just teleports into being.
Mons just materializes like an old Flash animation.
It'll be like that scene from. It'll be like fucking Tricky from Madness Comet, just coming out of the ground. Stop. Or like from fucking, or like Omni-Man just floating through a wall menacingly.
I could see Mons appearing like the Yellow Devil, just 1 pixel at a time.
Okay. Ghost and Forth is in control. We're just gonna take the bunny and go hide in a bathtub and be nice and safe.
If you
Sounds like a
can,
man and it's walking off.
don't forget to put something that can eat shrapnel on top of you.
It's okay. By the way, they're using a Magitech rifle. It's about 23 millimeters, but it has about 4 feet of barrel and an accelerant series of runes. The bullet itself is shaved down. It eventually returns to a very tiny size, not much larger than the standard old musket ball, but moving much, 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 much faster.
So there's not much we can range.
Whoever's using it is skilled. Understood. Get there. He's dragging a chair with him to go lie in the tub with.
Is there a way we can tell where it's coming from? Where they are?
Right. Usually the direction the bullets are coming from.
It would just kind of pipe up a bit. You could stand up and let them hit you, and the direction you fall is opposite of where they're shooting from.
But that doesn't help the situation where I can't shoot them now, doesn't it?
It helped mine a little bit. I might be able to return fire.
All right. Mary Ann will come downstairs and ask, "Why the hell are you all sitting around hiding behind my table? My table!"
I figured it'd be better to have holes in the table than holes in your daughter.
Just, she stands there and you can hear another. And those all just kind of poof in the air. Mary Ann's ability is kind of a counter to them. She has magnetic magic.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, good,
This
shrapnel.
would be about the time that a fork would like to the side of her head.
Well, no, she creates a field, basically creating a bubble around her that lets her block things. And she expands it aggressively, increasing the, I guess you could say the Gauss of it when those artillery shells get close. That way they explode from basically being melted once they touch it.
So the radius of the field is its flux density. The Gauss is how quickly that establishes.
It's very quick to establish. Thank you, by the way.
So basically,
Keeping
infinite
control.
Gauss.
Well, if you had infinite Gauss, you'd have a planet.
True. She's just got a lot because she's able to pull it from the earth because she's a traditionally trained mage.
Very good.
We're going to march up that hill and fucking kill them.
Sounds like a good plan.
That's just a good idea.
That is exactly what Naibai wanted to do, but also Naibai wouldn't stop with them. so that's why Naibai has elected to do exactly as the ghost has told them.
Beyond,
There.
I want that rifle.
No.
Just
From
no.
the bathroom, it will break your scrawny fucking body.
I'll hold on to it for it to be strong enough to maybe use it.
You would actually need an exoskeleton like Kevin has to use it because the kick, it's literally built that there's a foot that's just recoil spring. And it doesn't just have a bipod. No, it has a
Tripod.
by outrigger.
Yeah,
Oh.
it has doesn't it
It's
have
an artillery base.
pile drivers so that it actually like anchors to the ground?
Yes, this particular weapon, it's the whole thing is like 6 feet long,
So
and
this
they
is an
lie behind it at
anti-material
an
rifle.
angle. This is an anti-everything. This was, as Naibai will tell you if they ever calm down, it was used in the war. They're very expensive, very hard to use, and only about a third of the mages are the Magitech gunners that were eligible to use Magitech weaponry were able to use them without it shattering their fucking bones, because when you don't have the right balance of physical push and magical push, it overwhelms you and crushes your puny body. In the process, it literally was known as, they called it the shoulder shearer for a reason.
Well,
It just punches back, and it just sits in the bloody stump that was your shoulder and chest cavity.
Beyond.
the chair that Naibai took with them no longer exists.
Didn't I chew it?
No, they just failed one of their stability checks, so that chair kinda, yeah.
Got smashed.
There. It's okay. Rosenforth will give you advantage. Don't worry.
I know.
Okay.
Alright. Let's do this.
I can only fit a field big enough for maybe 5 of us. Counting. So, who do you want to take so I can kick their fucking head in?
I'm going. Questions asked.
I'll go too.
Oh hell yeah, we can get her. Get Beatrice to carve him a new asshole. Get this shit rolling. Who's next?
Beyond. They're at a distance. People throw off their aim.
Yeah, keep that fucking cannon pointed somewhere else.
Rude. He's more than bait. He's also a slut.
They traffic you. Wait. Everyone else?
Where's your head guard?
That's a good question. I could definitely give you a scene of what's happening between the head guard, or what's going on with the head guard, if you
What's
want.
going on?
I mean, you'll find out by the end of this, probably.
Yeah.
I feel like he's murdering the foot troops.
Actually, no. It's just Belugra was packing. Belugra was doing stuff, getting some. He gets something from his wardrobe, and then like if there's a camera, once he clears enough space to show the doorway, that's where Murnaz was just standing. You're going somewhere. Remember, butlers take out the trash, Belugra.
Oh.
Oh. That dirty bitch.
I asked this question earlier! God damn it!
He planted that fucking bug. Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh,
What
dirty
will break
bitch.
first? What's going to break first? Your neck or my wrist? What level are you? Enough. Murnaz is always aware.
Well,
Yeah, everybody's
not
like,
aware enough to get shot, but you know.
Well, okay.
Murnaz didn't get shot.
Well,
Scorpion got shot.
Poor Scorpion.
He's okay. He's lying down against his will, being pinned. Wanna help? Dying. Wanna help? I don't need that heart. No, that was Ralazar who got shot.
Beyond.
Kevin's the only one who figured that the demon wouldn't betray them.
I trusted
He's-
the demon.
He's still scary.
Beatrice, I don't know if she really had formed much of an opinion other than he's very good at his job. Seemed to be a nice guy.
The last fucking thing Belugra hears is Ralazar needs another heart.
Fuck.
Oh. Emergency heart transplant.
180 versus 299. Yeah, that's unfair.
Oh.
That's not the level disparity, that's the role disparity.
Oh, I was about to say, oh.
what's the just without giving us a number as we were.
It'd be like
we
a
didn't
gold
ask.
picking a fight with a platinum.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so it might have been a fight if there were like 7 of him. Maybe.
It's not a huge disparity, but it's enough.
What?
Let's go kill some
You
shit.
You want some fresh meat?
I need to stay here and keep the house safe because Faraji doesn't feel good. And you need a healer. Anybody's currently incapacitated. Send. Kazuna, follow, please. I'll go. Holy
Alright,
shit, she talks.
that's 5.
Mob will stand up and just. That's supposed to hurt! He doesn't actually have his left hand now.
Mop, you've been
What?
unhand.
Keep working at it. It'll grow back.
Alright, got a 5.
Hurry up! I can't distract them for long, fucker! This is knocking
Let's
off
do
more
this.
chunks than it's supposed to. Alright, I gotta do dice rolls. I need D1, just a D100 from you. It's going to be agility.
Agility.
All of you.
69. And let's see, what was my bonus again? I think it was 30. No, it was 50.
Oh, yes, starting off strong.
Okay, so that is what, 119? Yeah, that's 119.
Agility, that's under dexterity, yes?
No, it's agility. It's the one
Oh,
directly
never
below.
It's literally under dexterity.
I see it. 124 total.
191 from Kevin.
Man, what did you get? She got. Starting off strong with 97.
I'm delighted that I rolled a 69.
Yeah.
You should get a bonus for this.
Hey, but she runs fast. She looks good doing it.
Alright. So you all collectively get about 100 yards before you have to stop, because as you're running, you heard the shit. I love that sound. It's kind of nice.
So,
That's
how
high
far
quality
out?
sound there.
Okay. So I need another agility roll. This is gonna take a little bit.
Nice, Beatrice. She's gonna slow you down this time. Apparently, she stumbles. She got a 10 plus her 50.
Well, you know those mortar holes.
117 total.
So yeah, she
Okay.
does not do it so gracefully this time.
Well, you only get about 20 more yards. They are really trying, though. It's literally what those bullets sound like hitting that thing. Because it's just one hit, and then the rest hit it. Just.
I like how they're perfectly accurate, which is a total sack of bullshit.
No, they're perfectly accurate because fuck you, magic and science. Like, well, science gets us 80% of the way there, and magic just fills in the gaps.
But yeah, there's also there is randomness. No matter dude, how are they perfectly accurate?
Oh, good.
Because
The
you're within
glowing
their
gets
artillery.
worse.
Oh no. Naiba's about to lose shit.
It's a, oh, I got it. You're gonna drag Naiba's body out. And they're going to go to the kitchen and find. Fucking love it. Yeah, that's. I love it. they'll find a fucking bag of enriched valerian herbs. I am terribly sorry, but
Nom.
Alright, and what's that effect?
it takes about 3 minutes, and then you just kind of pass out on the floor.
The effect is coma.
No, the effect is these edible things shit.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
this Ghost and Forth
so
was.
could you
Well,
give me
that
the...
was anticlimactic.
Well, we'll see about that. Could you give me the potency of individual components and the weight of that bag?
Well, they only ate a handful. The potency of individual components, if we're going off our old scale, I think it'd be a 6 each.
Okay. That'll do it.
It's strong.
Yeah.
You took like
Somebody-
Benadryl.
Because these are specifically meant for pain relief, or like when somebody is ill. It's meant to help them sleep when they can't sleep by literally sedating them. That's what valerian herbs are for.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
That'll do it.
But these ones are enriched, which means somebody took the time to grow them, multiple generations of them, and constantly enrich the genetics of the seeds, and then add a little bit of magic. You also ate like 300 gold worth of herbs just now in a handful.
Oh, I believe
Don't let
it.
the butler know.
But if
That's an
she was
expensive
like
nap.
one rank higher than the second rank that she's at right now, that wouldn't have worked. So smart.
DM puts a little note down. Naibai getting too good for the good shit.
No, it's just
There
that
are
she.
Well,
So
there are stronger things. It's just this was the immediate safe thing. Now he could have tried the method that he would have done if they were a more beefy individual. Doorway.
So the way it works is at instability 1, she just kind of stops really caring about pain. At instability 2, the only thing that can really stop her nerves and muscles from working, like regardless of how much blood gets lost, is a nerve agent like that. And at rank 3, her own spirit is the thing that's driving her body. It doesn't even have to be in one piece. And at 4, other spirits become extensions. So she could poke you from like the other end of the field as long as she can see you.
That's scary.
Yeah,
Now
that,
currently Ghost and Forth just no punching Ghost bad. My person.
Fuck up.
This is a whole. He has entire adventures every day that we do this in the spirit realm. Nobody sees it except Naibai.
yeah, and Naibai is very grateful for it because usually she's the one dealing with these assholes.
These are mine. He's very violent.
got-
You don't know. I have a ghost knife.
I have a ghost knife.
Like, how did you kill the knife?
That's a good question that another spirit that doesn't have a ghost knife is gonna ask while they're running.
I don't know. How did he kill a vanilla cake?
How
How did he kill
cream?
ice cream? Yeah, exactly. So, he was an emperor. He knows how to do these things. All right, I need another set of dice rolls.
Agility. Oh, there we go. That's a little better.
Naibai is sedated.
Naibai is unfucking conscious on the floor.
50.
I got 44 total.
Panicking chef just putting a fucking bundle of a fire blanket over them just to keep them safe from any debris.
Pat, 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 pat.
Hello.
Kevin has
There's
rolled
nobody
a
just-
196.
All right. Everybody got 196. Beatrice got what?
She got 124. I think
Good.
we only got what 44. You said.
44.
He stepped on a snake.
Fionn will trip,
And
and
then that snake slap.
so Fionn unfortunately trips, kind of gets out of the bubble, but thankfully she's able to extend it just enough that only his foot gets grazed when there's a right beside it. Yeah, that was a graze, but it felt like somebody just drug a knife onto the side of your foot.
I'm pretty sure from the way you described the weapon, any part of the foot that was outside of the active field just got disappeared.
Oh yeah, Fionn's feet actually might be gone. That'll be fine.
Run on the stumps. It'll help with your adrenaline and your anger.
No, Fion's pissed. Fion's pissed.
They can get them back, probably.
They'll grow
We'll
back.
just ask the butler.
Humans' limbs grow back, right?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sure he's just missing a
Kevin,
couple
pick
toes.
him up.
Kevin does so and just kind of wraps him up with his tail. We're going this way.
Even if you have to visit Ivy.
Literally just... They were trying to get through, but they just can't. You can watch the ripple in this field as these impact. And now that you can look at them, if I was to describe these in real world, these are like the length of an entire 30-06.
Jesus. Like the bullet and the casing?
Yes.
Yeah, they're just firing the
Jesus.
whole bullet.
Yeah, this is
That way you
casing
get
ammunition technically, because when it fires...
50% more bullet per bullet.
Basically, the way they design it is instead of it being like a tip in a case, it's more like a large projectile with an explosive cup on the ass that booms it and then gets tossed out. And then that sends it screaming down the runes, which are basically magnetics in this case, but also shaving metal off of it specifically to make it thinner and faster and have much more angers to it.
So it's like speed of fuck multiplied by rune, and then also, you know that effect where as the width of a whip tapers down, it gets faster till it hits like supersonic speeds? It's that,
Yeah.
but in one direction.
It's velocity times area. What is it? Velocity times mass, or velocity plus mass times. I think it's divided by, or is it times surface?
It's velocity times mass divided by surface area.
And in this
The
case,
smaller the surface area, the higher.
Yes,
And if you make the densest part of it the center, the part that actually like survives to the end, then you can essentially maintain a lot of your mass.
Mm-hmm. This is basically how they were trying to make them.
I feel bad for anyone that just randomly finds one of these videos and hops in the middle of it thinking, oh, well, this looks fun. And then we're just describing like high concept science and engineering that goes into this fantasy game.
It's like, oh,
It's okay.
why?
Did Fion lose? How much of his foot did he lose?
He only lost his toesies and like at a right angle of his left foot.
His toesies. His
Oh,
pawsies.
Shizuna is just gonna kind of try and jog behind them as you move. Hold on, try and get that.
Kevin has applied the stabilization to his tail so they can run without moving too much.
Poor Fionn. And yet Mob
Fionn.
wasn't complaining that he's missing a fucking arm.
Hey, come
Hey.
back!
He got you over 100 yards though, because Mob literally flipped them off, and then they decided to shoot that, and then he stuck his tongue out, and they shot that, and then he just kind of shrugged once he realized he had nothing he could wave at him, and while he was bleeding all over,
And he's not
he
going to
passed
risk
out.
that.
he
Then he-
could spell out "fuck you" in
He thought about
YMCA
it.
moves.
Well, that's what he did. He looked down, and he just like, eh. And then he passed out, because that's his body's natural defense. Once he starts taking critical damage, he'll flop over, it'll shut off, and it'll put all of his power into healing itself. even if he was in the middle of something very important. Nah, you healing.
Just kind of, it's like, oh, finally he went down. 5 minutes later,
Kid,
I'm back, bitches!
he could be like on the cusp of a world record that would be unobtainable by anyone else. But if it causes him to like take too much damage right before the finish line, yeah, like it can just happen. Is like that's like why the most fucked up thing you can do is do like an internal curse or something that causes severe damage randomly, and he would just be talking to somebody and pass the fuck out. It's basically narcoleptic healing.
Hey, at least you're not awake for that horrible sensation of regrowth.
Oh, don't get me wrong. When he wakes up, all the soreness is there, but he doesn't feel the initial thing. That's basically a blessing he got from his mom's half. He's not like his father who has to feel everything grow back.
Makes sense why the insane side of Drake lasted for so long.
Yeah, exactly. Arm cut off. Fuck, this hurts just as much!
But Drake with baby legs, though.
No, it wasn't Drake. It was Ishik with baby legs.
Oh, that's right. I'm gonna stab your foot!
Ishik's sitting on a fucking railing without his lower half because he punched Asuka in the ass. She picked him up and tore him in half like a fucking soda can. Yeah. I stand corrected. It is still storming like this, by the way. The lightning, when a lightning strike does eventually hit the magnetically polarized fucking thing, that is very interesting to watch, and it makes Marianne wince because she can feel that.
I imagine it would be quite spectacular.
Ah, yes, looking up. Ah, blinding!
Can we see
Hey!
silhouette? Yeah.
You are getting close. You can see something, but enemy perspective, I think I might be able to supercharge. Fuck! Ah! Ah! What? Ah! Ah! Oh. Hey, turns out that just the one eye. Yeah, they were looking through it with their one good, their good old right eye.
Oh,
and
no,
now it's bleeding and red.
It's scoped in.
Did he have like thermals or night vision on that thing?
He had he basically had a magically enhanced sight that, it got rid of all of the rain and made everything much clearer. Even the lightning, which wrapped around that dome.
Just lasered him. Just lasered his ass. Just...
Oh my fucking lightning! Let's do this in a thunderstorm. It's the perfect cover! Fucking Crucia. Why don't you come and help? I'll just spend my time sitting on my ass. Need to take over? I'm fine.
Gets on the other side, lefty. Ugh.
Pretty much. Ambidexterity, thank you. Hello,
Before he gets back in the scope. Before he gets back in the scope, looks up at the sky. I fucking dare you.
Just thinking
Kind of
about it.
reminds me of something that happened to a friend. She was looking through a microscope at a diode, and that's when it chose to blow out.
If it's any consolation, he just lost a lot of HP because of severe nerve damage.
Speaking of HP, how much did Fionn lose?
Fionn lost 13% of his HP.
Oh.
But he's getting it back. Shoota's healing him. I need more D100. This should be your last roll by my math. I don't think it was cost. Fionn, you're being carried. You don't have to roll them.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's nice.
173 for
50.
10.
It's gonna be 58.
Oh.
Apparently, Beatrice stepped on something sharp. Son of a...
Found that one triangle-shaped rock.
There was a random D4 out in the yard.
Marianne will manage to stop, and Beatrice will just feel what looks like feels like some of her hair being singed off and part of her butt cheek. Because they have to prepare. You know, because more. Just and then there's the aggressive. Drop the. You can hear them now. Drop the fucking shield.
So since this is polarized in such a way to stop incoming, can it stop outgoing as well? This magnetic shield.
Right now it's a fucking bulwark, but you could ask Marianne.
That might open up a shot for a hyper accurate thing. Nah, I'm not going to risk it just yet.
That's a good idea. Oh, the ass whooping everyone will receive if something happened to Monza's wife.
Why do you think I'm reconsidering?
Reading in the newspaper, there is an entire chunk of nemanthium missing today. We believe it was thrown into the sea.
We managed to capture something for you. We managed to capture it in a brief magical clip of information. And you just see Mons just grabs the ground and just fucking hammer throws the thing. Just yeet. It's like,
no, you just see the land rise from a distant, like, cliff face. Like, an observer just happened to be in the area scouting the environment, and there's just a chunk of earth just goes sailing across the sky.
Writing down and just frantically, note, flying earth.
Not
Lay off whiskey.
Environmental studies for new town. No.
No. Risk of falling earth platforms. I believe there was a city on that. Oh, that's these berries I eat.
What were these called? Nightshade?
berries.
She would have taken just one. Alright. You hear the yelling, though. The storm is still going.
Well,
Alright.
Beatrice is doing a little bit of a dance since she was singed.
Beyond
Alright.
Marianne.
Yes?
It can stop things from coming in, but what about going out?
I'm not doing that. Somebody with this skill would see that and put a hole in my stomach.
Rude.
Okay. But hey! I get to use this other sound effect.
Oh shit.
You can see the tree shaking when they do that.
Beatrice's eyes are locked on that area.
And
It's
beyond,
interesting. Ah, yes, more Magitech. 3 shots. But this is a different one. That poor Peach Grove.
No.
Not the peaches.
oh no, not the Peach Grove.
Marianne, what are you gonna get in your roll? You got a... Okay. $33. Marianne's managed to protect you from 3 cluster shells.
Oh.
Wow.
I couldn't find a multiple explosion sound as much as I tried. By the way, every sound comes from Zap Splat, Bin Sound, or Free Sound. Wonderful places. Love them to death.
This video is sponsored by Raid, not a legend.
Kind of hurt her though. Fucking thank God she's got that much mana. All right, you'll be on your own when we get there. All right. Izuna managed to get Fion's foot and everything repaired, and now they're working on Beatrice's butt cheek while you try and climb. Though the firing of multiple types have stopped. Now.
Probably a little bit too close to the encampment, and they'd be in danger of shooting at each other.
You're close, isn't
Especially when you're using that kind of power. All right. One more set of dice rolls, because this will be the last one.
it? Alright.
Now Fiona has to roll, and so does Beatrice.
Okay, grand total is 123.
I got
14.
a 91. So, does Fion have his toes back, or is it just kind of like a nub he's walking on right now?
He's got his feetsies back in order.
Yeah.
All thanks to Shizuna.
Yeah, he will be sure to thank her when he can.
You've managed to climb up halfway on the hill at an angle that's close enough that they could still hurt you if they were to try and fire down. Thankfully, it doesn't seem like they brought guns that fire down that well. Ugh. You can actually see the tip of whatever big one they were firing at you hanging over the top of said hill. The fucking thing. It's got a literally a narrowing barrel. It has some sort of a spiral-shaped muzzle on it, or muzzle brake.
Kevin's going to voice somewhat quietly, 'cause well, they know they're there. He's gonna, don't grab that. I don't need the magic either burning one of your hands off or throwing you off this fucking what is it, hill we're climbing.
So just grabs the barrel and yeet.
Just,
Fion can do that.
don't do that.
Alright.
Alternatively, stab that barrel real hard at the base.
No, don't break it. Kevin wants it.
Okay. Oh no, we're not risking. A last hurrah to help you, and you can see the front of it kind of melt from induction. You fucking bitch!
Oh, there goes your upgrade.
It can be
Well, it's
fixed.
just a barrel, but they didn't melt it closed. Oh god. I am going to be elated to see if you actually come out of this as a winner to get that fixed.
I want it. I'm gonna make this work.
What level is Kevin?
Even if it's worse, I'll make it work.
Kevin is 281.
Now that the firing has stopped, though, at least you have reinforcement on the way. Singular.
It's the demon butler. Just see him hulking across the landscape.
No, it's more like you turn around and you see him walking out of the door and you go, oh good, the butler's coming. You look at the enemy and you look back and he's there.
You are absolutely terrifying, and I love it.
He's not the one, don't worry, you'll find out. He did get fought back though. Fucking Beluga hit him in the side with Hrimmelginger, which is a very powerful legendary weapon. So Murnaz is being healed up. They tried. But even a blade of true ice can't kill a pissed off butler that fast.
Yeah.
Is butler its own class?
In his case, yes.
Yes. I shall do what the butler does.
We're running out of places to put classes. We need to start a new page if we're going to add more.
You should add butler as a class. High enough into it, and you become borderline deific.
Well, that's not how the classes work. We'd need 2 subclasses.
Yeah.
Butler and maid.
That's the same thing.
I know.
Butler and sexy butler.
Moving on.
I don't know, fucking.
Groundskeeper, I guess?
Yeah, before we get too far off track.
Groundskeeper could be like a hybrid between butler and beastmaster. Or something of the nature.
I don't know. You guys are in the middle of a fight, and I'm gonna go
It's
pee
okay,
because
yeah.
I'm not actually here for this.
Everybody's unconscious. Okay. The cacophony has stopped. And I actually thought one of you would get shot in the head. But the curtains were drawn solely because the dice decided that, well, it was a combination of it was a rainy day, and also Murnaz had this weird feeling in the back of his mind.
Something
like-
felt funny to him.
So he drew the curtains. But no, he caught on fast. Especially once he heard about the pill bug. That really triggered something in his mind.
It's like, okay, something funky here. We can take precautions.
Well, no, what ultimately did it is Valugra doesn't have a history as an adventurer, but he knew it was a radiant pill bug, which he didn't think that Murnaz would know what that is. Unfortunately, radiant pill bugs are a demonic creature. Murnaz used to raise them where he came from. He would feed them to a much bigger creature that they were prey to. Most people that have a radiant pill bug usually buy them from a black market. They're not exactly found normally because they're such an aggressive species. There's literally a lucrative business of adventure that adventurers have of exterminating entire families of these pill bugs.
Well, they're aggressive little hateful bastards.
Yes, and they directly sap HP and mana off of you because they're demonic creatures.
Yeah.
That right there is ultimately what set it in, and it's just like 2 days worth of dice rolling. Murnass sniffed him out.
Plan.
We killed him.
Marianne is just going to lie on the grass and slowly start rolling down. You know, it exhausted her mana almost completely.
You said she started rolling down.
Yes, she literally lied on the hill and started rolling down it. She's trying to get away as fast as she can, but she doesn't have the energy to really run that back down the hill to safety, so she's rolling to conserve energy.
And did she say get on?
Go get him,
No,
that's what
go
she told
on.
you.
Oh, she said go get him.
Eat him.
Okay, well, let's see. Is there a lot of cover?
Eh, I mean, there's the big old fucking gun. There looks like a sort of a blind setup right here by the gun, but you don't see the people who are responsible for it. And you can see through the trees in a clearing what looks like some sort of small but very powerful artillery cannon.
I was just wondering if there would be a way for Beatrice to break line of sight and, kind of like
There's
get
trees.
better vision. And what's that?
Well, there's trees. You're technically at the top of a forested knoll.
All right, so Beatrice is indeed going to attempt to slip out of sight so that she can sneak up on him. So let's see. That would be a stealth roll. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
What did you
So
get?
I rolled a 15, then I'm gonna calculate here because I have to add a bunch of stuff together. So 15 plus her natural bonus of 15 that she gets from her class, if I remember the right number. Plus, and that's where's my sheet? Um,
I'm so happy.
124. Okay, so grand total is 154. I'm not sure if that would be enough in this case.
Like 6 points, it's enough.
Ooh, you just barely sneaked in.
I
She's
like that.
going to what?
I just fucking love that Shizuna has a mace. That's her weapon. She's just clinging to it with both hands.
So Beatrice is going to attempt to sneak closer until she has eyes on them and can be her vicious little foxy self.
Shizuna is gonna stay at the back, presumably with Fion.
Theon has a arrow drawn and ready just in case any of them decide to be cheeky and try to come up over the hill.
All right, Kevin, what do you want to do? You want to stay in here? You want to remove cover?
Removes
far out
cover.
How far out are we?
You're far enough that you could fire your cannon lance without causing any damage to the property. You're technically
right.
beyond the back wall. You went about 1,000-ish yards out.
Oh yeah, it would require a massive fucking explosion to do any sort of damage like that. All right, so that big ass artillery
Completely
piece. Are there
ignoring
shells?
that big ass artillery piece is about 60 yards through that little opening you can see.
Perfect. Are there any shells stacked nearby?
You can see what looks like where somebody would sit and try and operate it.
Oh, perfect. Let's lob some explosive shells into that. I'm thinking a 4 burst of that. So let's see. Goddamn map just crashed. There we go. Okay. So we're doing a 4 burst of the high explosives. That's 68 for that roll.
I think I ginned the appropriate level enemies, but just to be clear, what is all of your levels?
Let's see. I think 31.
31.
Okay.
29.
All right.
Keep forgetting. 218 or 281.
Okay, yeah. I gen roughly the appropriate levels.
Remember, difficulty rating isn't based on levels, it's based on environment.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Beatrice is going to have to evade tank.
Oh, by the way, do you guys want me to like make it so because these are intelligent enemies, they can use like incapacitation rules on you and vice versa? You know, fatal blows revert to 1 HP and you're incapacitated and knocked the fuck out.
Isn't their goal to kill us?
I mean, you don't know what their goal is, but they're shooting at you.
I don't see why not.
Jesus.
Yes, I agree.
See, that warrants a drop kick. Is there a fence nearby?
No, don't drop kick the fox.
That was not a fox. That was a screaming chimp. Fox screams are just E's or Ahs. That was like 7 different letters.
They're not E's or Ahs. They sound like a fucking DOS running on dial-up, talking to itself in the back room of a fucking server farm.
It's just a modem that has both ends of the ether cord plugged into itself.
That's fair. But if we're gonna start this shit, Kevin wants to plant a 4-shot burst into the operating controls for that massive cannon. So, and that total roll, so that would be 25,112 with a 68 as the roll to start it.
Considering an inanimate object doesn't roll, you managed to blow it up and make quite a loud cacophonous rumble. I could use this other explosion noise again, I suppose.
No, it does.
Oh, hey, look!
The environment rolls for how much HP it has.
Yeah, no. I already rolled that though. It doesn't have more than 28,000 HP.
Okay.
So this is perfect though, because of the massive explosion. Because what is it? A small bang, 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 bang from the cannon, followed by the devastating detonation of an artillery piece. There you go. Now Beatrice has all kinds of stealth because everyone's looking the other way.
fucking savages!
And if there's time, he plans to switch over to Gundyr and get ready for a bum rush.
So, I think Beatrice is going to take that moment to zero in on the person who shouted that and kind of rush that direction as sneaky as she can.
I need D100s for that action.
All right, let's start with D100 for the stealth part.
Yep.
Oh, that's a good stealth.
Who's a good stealth? You're a good stealth. Yes, you are.
Ow, fuck, I pulled my hair.
221 for her stealth.
Okay, so that's a pass. Now for her finding out where they are.
Sweet. Oh, for her finding out. All right, so in that case, that would be perception, so wisdom. Us. What do we roll? Well, it's not great. It's a grand total of 64.
You do not know where they are, though. Darn. You're sneaky.
All right, so she's sneaky, doesn't know where they are, but she can run in the direction of the cannon encampment. So she will do that at least until she can gather more information. So for
Alright, I'm just
that,
asking you, did anybody
what?
have any prepared actions? I just need to know.
I have prepared the action to snore.
Good job.
Fion's
What
got
about
his bow
Fiona?
drawn.
Okay, so Fiona's ready to... So Fiona has a prepared action. Shoot at somebody.
Is it fire? He's like this
Fire
asshole on fire.
and
I wanna hear it.
fire and poison.
Fiona
because
is
he's got
using
his
the
J thing.
Overwatch mechanic then. But
Ba 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 ba.
alright, Beatrice got a what for her moving to the encampment? On my butt.
If I can get this calculator to stop fucking up. All right, so her speed, she gets 142.
I'll allow it, it's passable.
So she did a sneaky fast run, but she can't figure out where the enemies are. So now she is a lot closer and still hidden.
You're at the encampment, which is currently smoldering in the rain. This one. That is because somebody shot it.
I wonder who that was.
I don't know.
Pretty much all of its shells are actually all of its shells were used. Wasn't exactly easy to move this alone, this on its own, let alone some of the ammunition for it. To be fair, nobody thinks we're gonna need more than about 10 or 11 artillery shells for these guys. Not a normal conversation. Most people are like, yeah, just like a dozen at most. That should be more than enough. I should kill everything. And then some. Look at Marianne. Suck a dick. Oh my god. The dice enjoys pairing itself against itself to see what wins. The dice is like, I am the strongest. No, I am the strongest. 'Cause I use these two different dice apps. So they're like having a fight back and forth.
Fuck you, me.
Yeah, basically. It's like, it's the same
What's your
thing, but
name?
like... Alright. Nobody here. They're hiding somewhere in here. Alright.
Should I do a perception to see if I find them since I'm the only one nearby?
You may.
Okie. So I believe that is a grand total of 97.
Ah.
It was a decent roll. She has not boosted her side stats all that much yet.
That's okay. You can see nothing when you're looking around from the direction that you were running in, but when you turn around and look the direction you come from, you just kind of see one of them staring right back at you, hiding on the other side of one of the thick-ass trees. Shit.
Ah. Can she tell what level he is?
You're in the same level range. They're 34. But they're also missing, off their health, 3,106 points. As their fucking eye was destroyed.
Oh, yes, that's right.
You're about even at that point. That's a
Okay.
fucking. That's a fuck you to the other dice there, though. It's like, hey, I'm gonna make your guy be looking through a scope when I do a lightning strike.
It was just like, son of a fuck.
I'm going to give
Nobody
my
expected.
I'm going to give my
Oh.
guy a super scope. Oh yeah? Well, I'm going to give my guy lightning.
How's that gonna win? Oh, it's simple. Lightning coming
Yeah.
down. Where do I go? Ground. Woo! Magnets.
Right at the thing he's looking at.
Fucking magnets.
Magnets, man, how do they work?
How the fuck do they work? Remember, if it can't be explained with physics, it can be explained with magnets. So, continue.
All right. So what Beatrice is going to do, having spotted him, is she is going to essentially charge straight at him.
Charge rolls.
Okie dokie. Do this. Speed in.
Oh boy, we get to see the
Oh,
first
wow.
use of the new speed mechanic.
Okay. So I rolled a 100 for her speed, and that is going to be added to her 50 agility.
Nice.
And let's see. How far away is she?
Yeah, about 10 yards from this person.
All right, and
Can we get that in American?
that is
It's
American.
about 30 feet.
Yeah, so a yard is 3 feet. All right, so we're gonna take the 30 yards
Remember,
out of that, or not 30 yards, the 10 yards or 30 feet, and then we're going to, and then basically the additional speed is just added to the damage, right?
Hmm?
Okie dokie. So she is going to. Let's see. Let me take a look at my things here. How many turns does that have? Okay. So she is going to use her lacerate ability. Plus. I have so many numbers to add.
So much addition.
Right. You said everything? No, it's not. All right. Shit. I did a typo.
Ruh-roh.
Means I have to start over. God damn it.
Would you guys like to play with incapacitation and stuff on or surrender? So if you get them incapacitated, one you can all basically like capture them and do like interrogation or stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
No leg is
Yeah.
important.
So, like, with
Okay.
incapacitation on, does that mean any damage that would be lethal becomes 1?
Basically, it's like I'll just consider it that they knocked you the fuck out instead of actually going through and brutally murdering you. That'll still
Unless it's an
happen in
execute
dungeons,
skill.
unless it's an execution skill. Exactly. That ignores pretty much all of it, and your ass is going straight to respawn.
If
Okay.
you're lucky.
I had to ask because in some video games, the mercy kill is like, okay, so you did 3,000 damage, but they still have 1 HP left. Okay, I do it again. Okay, you did 3,000 damage again, and they still have 1 HP left. I do it again. Do you just hate this person? Yes.
Maybe.
Alright, I think I added all the numbers. I think. So, her grand total using the lacerate and oh wait, I need to add the attack roll. One, two, yes.
Just a head pat moment for Ivy.
It's like I did all the math for the ability and all the bonuses and stuff that she gets. And I forgot to roll for the attacks. All right.
Oh no.
So now that I did that, her grand total for that is 2119. She used her lacerate ability, so that adds a bleed, which since she has the blooded ditto, she's going to have a really long bleed that's not as strong as before. And 80 of that damage is hellfire damage.
Jesus.
Ivy. Min Max!
Nah, she doesn't even do as much damage as Fionn. He's several levels below her.
Back. Oh, sitting up hurts, guys. Ow. I had to lie down for a little bit though because like I had been in the car like 6 hours today. Oh, okay.
And let's see.
So you did 2001?
2,119.
Okay. The bleed. Let's see. The critical stuff. Ooh. Okay. Uh, 2,819.
What's that?
Number keeps like not sticking every time you say it. I'm sorry.
2,119.
Okay. Times. Ah.
2119.
So yeah. Okay. Check here. Make sure. Right. So
Thanks to her armor, she has a lot of defense.
Yeah, this armor's pretty good.
It's really good.
Too soon. Okay, so you bring them down to 11,937 HP. Well, technically 10,000. Regardless, did a good job. Hurt them. Okay, so that
While we're waiting, I'm curious what color you all thought that Naibai's tattoos glowed.
I was thinking kind of white.
I think I may have missed that, so I wasn't aware that they glowed.
And Shadow, what about you?
Hmm?
What color do you think Naibai's tattoos glowed when she started freaking out?
I would say like a yellow or an orange.
So my thought would be like either white or maybe a light blue, kind of like that spirit fire.
So, Naibai's tattoos actually glow the color of the ink, and the one on their shoulder is black ink, so it glows very unnaturally black.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, it is
Oh boy.
radiant black. There are some other tattoos hidden in her fur that, like, if you pushed it out of the way, you'd see, like, the different colors. But, yeah.
When your computer is hooked up with RGB.
when, when your computer has so much RGB, the shadows glow, too.
Oh no.
That's how I want my computer.
yeah. Okay.
What do you all think of the stability mechanic? It is 100% OP, but, like, you have to get to stage 4 before it's like, and we're fucked.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool.
it's neat.
Okay. How much armor does Beatrice have?
Her defense is 5,053.
To know. Good to know. Ah. I mean, they use the skill that ignores armor, so Beatrice takes 966 damage
Okay.
when they swing that war axe into her side. In retaliation of them stabbing them with the slicing and the ouching.
All right. So you said 966.
Yes, and there's also going to be the addition. Hold on now, because what's your current HP?
Current HP is 19,205.
And then that's minus another 960 because of the residual crushing from that skill and the
Ow.
impact.
All right.
Still forgot to add the right amount. Oh, I'm stupid. Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
thing I wasn't
One of
on target.
these days, you're gonna remember to do it. You're gonna really hurt something.
Well, I had the system almost completely worked out. I just forgot to color it. I didn't see it.
All right.
That basically took just over 10% of her health. It took like 10.03% of her health.
You
Well,
don't
it is
seem to
only
be.
one round of combat.
Yeah,
And
you
just
both already
amused
ended
at
there.
how close to 10% it ended up being.
You've now realized, fuck, some people do have skills that ignore how much armor I have. That's realized, fuck, this war axe really hurts my fucking flesh.
She's going to swear quietly, and since she's right there, she is going to use another skill.
No, you're not.
Oh, that's
Wait.
right. Somebody else goes first, doesn't they?
Yep.
Everybody's going at the same time, but the skills are so complex, we gotta space it out.
Bjorn, you've seen Beatrice do something, but you don't see what they did. But you can see what looks like a hand holding an axe that's planted inside of Beatrice's side from this distance.
Seeing that, Fiona's gonna move to where he can get line of sight
Relocate for
on-
my amusement, midget.
Who the fuck said that?
That was me.
Oh. Fiona's gonna move so he can get a clear line of sight on who is holding the axe.
Right.
How far does that take him?
That takes you running off to the right for about 20 yards, and then when you're looking for this person, and then you can see somebody else who's sitting there trying to line up what looks like a shot with some sort of rifle on what looks like Beatrice's side, or maybe face. You don't know. But you seem to have
Fion's
them.
aiming for that person. Fion's
Nice
aiming for
rolls,
the guy with the
bitch.
rifle. I am.
Yeah, you don't know that they're a guy. Be a girl under that
Assume
role.
the enemy's gender. God.
Oh my
God.
god!
Why is it a gender reveal party? Shouldn't they decide that?
They did. Marianne kept ruining it.
They were just trying to tell you it's a girl.
Dice roll is 53. Total damage, because Fiona's using the drill shot and the fire arrow, along with his jade infused hand thing. So it's fire, poison, and drill.
I just wanted to mention something silly. It's like, there are white people nearby. How can you tell? Blue mushroom cloud in the distance.
For a grand total of 3,096 damage.
Ouch.
With an obsidian arrow and the magic bow.
You gotta calculate all that damage yourself.
You want to add another qualifier to that?
Listen, you should see what the Osmiums have on their list. Hey.
I had to add like 10 different things together in order to get Beatrice's damage, so I feel your
They can
pain.
probably see that arrows.
I know I'm making you do all that, man.
I'm really
Alright.
glad I elected to just hit things with, like, stuff on a string. It's a lot simpler.
Really is for now. Okay. Drill shot, fire, and poison. Why not?
And they should be poisoned too, shouldn't they?
But bitch, did you not just hear me?
No, you're very
3,000
quiet.
and what?
3,096.
How can you know? You're always either just under or just over, like a flat 100 or 200. Get your shit together. 3096. Could have been 30. You know, fuck it, it's 3,100 because I'm not doing the math on 3096. easier if it's flat. All right. Uh, happy weapon. So large, and apparently it does though. 3. Okay. And the drill shot's gonna hit twice, so it's gonna times that by 2. Great. And then we're going to. You know what? I'm not doing any more dice rolls. They die, or at least you knock them the fuck out. That's what you want to go with.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoots in back of the head. Already, I didn't even finish calculating. Already up to 18,600 damage. They're level 31. They have 17,825 health. Do the math.
They face plant into the dirt so hard there's a slight crater formed with their face.
They facepalm the
like-
local planet.
Like, you fully watch this thing drill through their head, but like the world's like, and you're unconscious.
Permanently.
And you're aware of this, and it is odd that they didn't just die.
No, it's okay.
Nah.
They drilled
Well,
between
no,
the
it's fine.
lobes.
They went through that because there is actually no shit. There's a spot in the brain you can punch clean through. You'll be fine.
Yeah, right between the lobes, above / under the tongue.
Yep,
Yeah, and
that's what
missing
happens.
that little connecting thing between the two hemispheres.
That's what I'm talking about. Not the tongue in your mouth, the tongue in your brain.
Literally a perfect shot. And to prove it, the dice decided on 2 separate apps it's a 100% chance of it happening.
Double confirm.
They're unconscious.
They're gonna have a
They're
hell of a
fucking
headache
dead.
when they wake up. With an arrow sticking through their head.
You hear a very feminine "ah" as they fall over.
Oh,
if
well,
everyone's shut up,
congratulations on losing your virginity.
Yo, and you just shot a chick. Wow. Arrow. Damn.
You just shot a
You just penetrated somebody against their consent, you rapist. It's okay. Kevin has Gungnir ready, which is good.
Well, who looks of is there anyone visible that's not currently
somebody
being
visible.
scraped or
Yes, there is. He's about your physical size, and he's currently swinging what looks like a hammer towards you because he was hiding behind a fucking tree.
the
surprise?
twat that is currently rubbing their mic? I'm going to eat your face.
That's Fionn. Fix your fucking mic, please.
Thank you, Jeebus.
No, it's still doing it. I'm muting him for a second.
What the hell?
I didn't mute him for a second. That was giving me a headache. Yes, they are swinging a hammer towards you because since everybody else is caught, they figure they might as well try and knock one of you the fuck out. You feel confident though. They're level 97. Still, you realize, oh fuck, that could actually kind of hurt a little bit.
Well,
Yeah, smart.
oh, that's probably gonna sting no matter what he does. So
The Hamar.
Yes,
let's go for a chest stab.
Oh, you're gonna let them hit you and then stab back?
I'm gonna take some and give some more.
Oh, okay. Let's do their damage rolls. So they're a half ogre. This is why it's gonna hurt. Man, that is a lot of strength. Holy fuck. That's a AAA scaling in that weapon.
Are you sure you want to
84
get hit
plus.
by this?
Gonna get hit anyways. Might as well let him hit on one. Let him get hit one hit. Yeah, let him get one hit in before.
How much armor do you have, by the way?
That is a good question. Where's that chest plate? 2792 plus ND. Wherever the fuck that's hiding. Let's see. Hold on.
It should be the dark blue one below your attack. is your total defense.
Yeah. And so, is there anything else applying a bonus to the ND, or is it just whatever you see plus your armor?
It's your NDE plus your ATGE bonus.
Okay. Well, in that case, 36, 35.
Which comes from your armor. So you've got plenty of armor. So they don't get through your armor. Is Fion's mic fixed, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Give me a headache. That was just giving me a severe headache. I'm having to
Sorry.
alter Bonnie's. It's okay, numbers every now and then, but
Giving
I
you
get it
a
all back. So they don't break through your armor, thankfully. They do 6,326 damage, and then you watch a little notification pop up with the
Status.
status, yes, the affliction of rended, which just halved your armor.
Jesus.
You can
Hold
feel your
on.
chest kind of ringing from it.
So, is the lightning damage just totaled into Gungear's attack?
Total it in at like it's base attack? No. You add that on top of it, what that lightning itself will do, and then you get like the total of stave plus like spear plus lightning on spear. It's not
Oh,
spear
that's
is
right. Because I remember us as if you wanted me to be able to turn that on at will, or just have it be all at once, and I picked all at once. That's what I remember.
Also,
Okay.
I forgot to mention that this enemy that Beatrice stabbed should have a stack of immobilize on because of the Big Ken.
fucking love that. I love that Yon gave that. Like that's something that would have happened at the gallery. Just oh look, he's the big kid. How you been, you little murder monster? Sugar boy.
So Kevin's roll on that was 71,532. Now that I fucking calculated everything and that I wanted to in the first place.
Yeah,
Woo! Look at you calculating math.
calculating numbers.
All right, they've got 52,325 health. Plus, we're looking at a double scaling and a double A scaling in their armor with their 198 strength and their 77. They've pretty much just gone strength and dex. That's fair.
Sick.
177. So their armor is so 60. Two. Three. Yeah, even if I get calculate everything, they still can't tank it. Damn. Got a good armor going on there, though, buddy. Oh, god damn it. Static's back. Why does it pop back up? Oh, yeah, the other person's unconscious. I can take their calculator away. How much health does that little have? Okay. Kevin's 9 and Yandra's 23.
My dad ran himself out of fuel on his motorcycle. He's currently in the middle of the highway, so I have to go get him.
Oh, damn. We'll have to stop
That being
here.
said, you don't have to. I can just assume that I'm doing the highest damage fucking things I can do. And I'll send it
Trust
off
me,
to you.
you're gonna want to be here. That's
Oh.
okay.
Sorry.
We have Sunday.
We do have Sunday.
I don't know about Sunday because it'll be storming pretty much from Sunday all into next week.
Have Saturday. No, I'm kidding.
So aside from that, since I wasn't there listening, how fucked up is the big day?
You managed to send him flying, and he just kind of knocked out.
Oh, perfect. Well, sorry to have to bounce in the middle of fucking combat, but you know, gotta be there for family. So I'll be back later.
It's okay, bud.
It's okay. Yes.
I mean, you don't. I'm not there for family. My family's not there for me. So yeah.
You're swamp
Well, he
people.
currently lives with his family right now. So
That's only slightly different.
You're swamp people.
Yeah, I am swamp person.
Shoot him, Jake. Shoot him. That's okay. We'll stop it there.
that's the end.
It's okay though. Yes, that's the end. You can go smoke. You can go fucking vape in peace.
I was going to bed. I still got work in the morning.
That's okay. Yeah, we definitely want to dedicate an entire day to fight the other enemy that hasn't showed themselves of this group. They're gonna like a whole day for themselves.
All right.
Alright, well, good night, everybody.
Yes,
I'm
they're
gonna
gonna
go
get
put
shot
on
in the head.
HBO Max and huh?
Wait a
What?
second, then you got shot in the head. Bullshit. Somebody's supposed to die.
If it's any consolation, Theon got his foot shot off,
Ew.
and then it grew back. That was a little painful.
It hurt some, but you know, grow the fuck up.
I'm gonna get some sleep.
Okie dokie. Well, I suppose I'll hop into the other thingy and do the thingy with the thingy.
Yeah, that because that completely